What's up guys, Aaron Productions here, and it has been a very long time since I last made a video, so I was bored and I decided, okay, let me make a video and show my system, which I haven't done in a while, which I need to finish all my upgrades or just expansion in general since I include the garage now. But I wanted to show you guys all the different components of my system and what their purpose is. Some of them are kind of like over dramatic. But, so let's start off with how our system gets powered. So first thing coming in is Romex. Yes, I want to change this to MC cable, but for right now that works. That goes into here, and it has a Northern Technologies Incorporated surge suppressor on it, so if there was a surge or lightning, it would try its best to get all of the excess voltage to ground instead of having it go into the equipment. Which, yes, there's 3 feet of cable in between here. Some of it's coiled up in the box, just because I didn't want to make the conduit 3 feet. So this is a monitored surge suppressor, which I'm pretty sure is required by code. Maybe not in this state, but so it has a RJ11 connector on it with a phone cable coming out, and then that goes into this module. Which is our surge suppressor monitor. It's 15 because that was like the lowest address when I put this in. I tried to start off with like 1, 2, 3, 4, but obviously you could tell since 1 and 17 are right next to each other, it didn't last that long having everything in order. Next thing on the power, it just goes into here, goes into the transformer, everything here. We have a circuit breaker if you need to turn off the system to reset it without removing power. That jumpers off, and that goes into the EVAX panel, which we'll get into that panel in a second. We have batteries here, 2 12-volt PowerSonic 7 amp hour batteries. This will power the system for a while in a power outage. We don't really have power outages that much. Not that big of a deal to have gigantic batteries in it. Let's focus on this panel a little bit. So this gets its signal to turn on from NAC 1 on this panel right here. And then that sends 24 volts into the sensing input to turn it on. And then it will play the evacuation message and the tone. And then we just have the speaker output go to everything there. You could do paging. And you could do an all clear message, which I've demonstrated in my system tests before.
All clear. All clear.
So the Firelight MS9200 UDLS is responsible for checking all of the points with its SLC over here. We also have resettable and non-resettable power for all of our devices, modules, and stuff. And then the NAC, and then the annunciators too. But that's literally all the connections I'm using on it. I'm not using any relays on it because I use all relay modules because I find it a lot easier just to have one SLC run than to have to run back to the panel to get a relay. Like, I could put 10 relays on the SLC, and that's only one cable jumping off and daisy chaining instead of 10 pairs of 18-2 running everywhere. So let's look at our final quote panel here. This is just a terminal cabinet. Okay. So in here is just all of our wiring, as you can see, just like jumpering off. We have our speaker circuit. Oh, and this is grounded, by the way, even though it's only 24 volts. After all of our wiring goes through, it goes into the cabinet that I just showed. And then let's look at the first devices that it goes to. So right here is our strobe module, which yes, I could have used a NAC, but I really wanted this to be more versatile because I could set this for whatever zone I want it to do. So like if I wanted to do have the strobes go off on a CO condition, then I'm pretty sure I can't do it with the NAC. Next thing it goes to is a system sensor SD350, I'm pretty sure. This is the older smoke detector, which it needs to be in the fire panel room for code reasons, even though this really isn't an up-to-code system, it's just for fun. I mean, it does offer protection, but I need to make sure that there's no fire going on where the fire panel is. Next thing it goes to is this module right here, which controls the horn in here, which will sound if there's carbon monoxide from this detector here, which has a module behind it, of course. And then there's also a strobe on the other side of the wall, as well as the strobe upstairs, but that runs on a different module, of course. So there's the strobe for downstairs for carbon monoxide. There's one on each floor, which is only 2 floors. And then something that I need to like wire mold here is where this goes to, which I'll show you the two connections. One of them goes right to this Commander 3 strobe, and I could change this for whatever I want. That's what I have in the meantime. And then there is a wire mold, and it runs out to the garage to a module right there, which just monitors the heat detectors in here. There's no NAC, I don't think. Or there might be NAC out here, but there's just a strobe anyway. And of course, next to the panel, we have a pull station that I've used plenty of times. This really helps when I want to test a pull station condition going off on the system, because the pull is right here. Obviously, this isn't like good spot if it was meant for somebody to pull it when they're evacuating the building. And the next place it goes is through this hole that we have for whatever, and then that runs through the wall, and that goes to a junction box. But one of the things connected is a SD355 over here in the laundry room. Pretty clear why you would want one in here, because you have two machines, especially one that's running on 220. You don't want it to start on fire, because you know that dryer vent clogged with lint is not good, even though we cleaned it out this summer. But it's fixed now, so don't worry. So there's the connection coming out again, and then it goes to this junction box here, and then this goes through wire mold over to here. Now this module is meant for the pull station. So of course this pull station is just to offer a manual activation point, because there's no other pull stations down here besides the one in the closet, which obviously isn't that accessible or known. Next thing we have is another SD355. This is basically just to monitor this whole area here. I mean, if smoke came up, then it's gonna come over here, which, yeah, basically all my smoke detectors are in a row. It goes in here, and then like in there, and then right there. It's all a flat plane in here, but this is the easiest to run, and it's right next to our existing one. Finally, down here we have my notifier NANN80, which obviously this is just to be used as an annunciator, so you don't have to go in the closet to use the system. You could just use it right there. It's like if somebody had to come in the garage for whatever reason, fire department, then they could see right there. We're done with downstairs for the system. It comes through this wire mold here, which is only like power data and a few other things in here. Then it goes into this junction box, which splits out this way. And then if we just go up real quick, we get to another SD355. This is just to sense for like anything coming out of the stairwell that maybe it's over here, and then it's gonna come over here instead of going that way. I just like having smoke detectors up at the higher point of the floor. And then if we follow other wire mold, we go down, 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 over here, up above the door, and then we have a T here, which ignore this access control stuff because it's not anywhere near done. Then we go down to this pull station, which it's currently blocked. Yeah, I know, bad. Obviously, this is the front door pull station. If you were leaving, then pull the alarm if there's a fire. So the reason this has a stopper on it is because we put a lot of stuff over here. Yeah, you really shouldn't have anything in front of a pull station, but yet again, this isn't really a real system. It's just for fun. I don't need to have all this stuff in my house, so it's not really like a requirement. But then if we go up past the T, we come out over here, which goes up and into this speaker rated back box, which we have SLC going over here to another ST355. This would sense any problem in the stairwell. Most likely something would cause a problem down here where the heater is, so the smoke would come right into the detector just fine. Obviously, speaker strobe connected to the EVACs and that strobe module downstairs for making the announcements and stuff, and of course evacuation. And then we have a carbon monoxide strobe, which I got that from Zach from Best Security Systems. I say that like every time, but thank you for that. That was a Christmas gift, and they also printed the labels. If we go down, then we could see the two modules here. There is going to be a third one soon for the access control, so that it will open the door automatically, even though we're going to have requests to exit motion sensors. I still want to have the fire alarm system cut off at the bolt. So here we have audio cut off, so this is just a dual relay. We have the stereo channels coming in and out here. This is a 4-conductor wire, so the positive for left, positive for right comes in, and then they go out. And then they go to the speakers, which that's not the best solution. The best solution would be to have some sort of power conditioner that has a contact closure input or something like a 24-volt input that would cut off the power to the amps. And then this is a control module just to turn on the strobe when the carbon monoxide circuit is activated. Now let's follow that box up to the final way that it goes, which is to upstairs over in the main part of the house, which the first thing we have is the ANN80. This is the main annunciator that you would see when you walk in. So if there's any problem, this is the first one that anybody would see an issue on. Then we go directly out into a pull station, which this one isn't that far from the other one. If there was a fire, you're probably more likely to pull this one unless you are coming up the stairs or something like that. But then this goes out, and then we'll go this way after. We'll go with the thicker way first, which this goes into the speaker and a bunch of modules right here. So first thing we have is the I4 module, which this runs the system sensor. I4 right there, there's only one of them. This is a 2-wire smoke detector that has smoke and carbon monoxide, so it's obviously going to be used for activating both the fire alarm system and the carbon monoxide, which we do have another strobe right there. So this is the dual monitor module for smoke and fire, because this is a conventional module. It's not an addressable module. All it does is convert the logic of the 2-wire to 4-wire. Then we have our CO alarm module. So obviously this is just giving 24 volts to that strobe when it's activated. And then we have our door magnet relay. The doors have resettable power going through them, so we just have this go through the relay first, so that when there's smoke or CO, the doors will automatically close themselves. I have 2 door magnets, one right here on this door, and then another one on this door. And both of these have exit buttons on them so that I can close them. So if we go back to the T, now that we're done with everything over here, we could look up here. We already talked about the strobe, which is for carbon monoxide. And then we have something a little different, which is the adapt smoke and heat detector. So it's supposed to be, at least from my understanding, that they both have to be activated at the same time, but from my experience it can be either or. Maybe I just have it programmed wrong. Following it more, we go down into another pull station. This one is just for the end of the hallway if there was a fire. Down here, this is the easiest one to pull. Then we have the wire mold go down and then up past the switch, which just has this cable coming down. And then we go up over here to the only fire alarm related thing in this room besides all of the stuff is a heat detector, because this room is my lighting room. So it has a lot of haze in it, and we don't want to set off any fire alarms, so I just put a heat detector in here. This is one of the new ones. It's the HT360, I'm pretty sure. And then, yeah, I have a Genesis speaker strobe mounted on the ceiling, even though it's the wall version. I'm gonna have to think of a different solution for that. For right now, that's just making do. Alright, let's finally get on to the last parts of this system. So we go up here, over, down, to the living room smoke detector. This just senses anything that would come from like the outlet below here. Here's where a bunch of stuff happens. We have a speaker, which it could be a speaker strobe if I wanted. I just have a speaker right now. Dining room pull station here, which that would be used if you had to go out the back door of the kitchen. If we look at the other turn, we have a smoke detector for the dining room and basically the kitchen as well, because this is set off when we've had smoke in the kitchen before. The last thing we have is this goes outside to our system sensor SRHK, I'm pretty sure. It's high candela and it's outdoor. But yeah, guys, that's the entire house system. That's basically what I've decided I needed for it, or what I thought would be cool for it. Of course, I'd like to put like a pull station over here and have like a heat detector right here in the kitchen and all kinds of stuff. But I think for right now, I think it's pretty good. The way it is, it definitely serves its purpose. It goes off when there's smoke anywhere in the house, I'll tell you that. Does a lot better job than the ionization detectors we have, just to, of course, meet code requirements for a regular house. But that is going to conclude this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something about my system in this video that you probably didn't see in the system test videos. Thanks for watching. Peace out.